pleasure to be in Government House, Benin today, in fulfillment of my courtesy call on His Excellency, the Governor of the state. The essence of my presence here this morning is to formally introduce myself to His Excellency, the Governor, and members of his cabinet, and to acquaint you with the processes of my arrival and my taking over. And secondly, I'm here this morning to thank the Governor for the warm reception and for the magnificent and top-notch security architecture on the ground, which I have noticed with satisfaction, for which I am ready to key in and for which I am ready to advance the cause of security and stability of Edo State. Thirdly, I'm in Government House this morning to personally thank the Governor for creating an enabling environment for the security forces to operate freely, especially the police, and for his outstanding contribution to elevating police performance in Edo State. In all this, I have to personally pledge loyalty to the Governor, the government, and people of Edo State in the onerous discharge of my duty. I am not unaware that certain security challenges exist in Edo State, especially kidnapping. In my last 10 days of arrival here, we've taken proactive measures to register our presence with respect to tackling kidnapping. I am excited to announce to His Excellency that in the last 10 days, we have taken 7 kidnappers out of circulation from Edo State. The first set were taken out on the 3rd day of my arrival in office. We have realized that the generality of the population here are being overwhelmed, particularly in Ovia North local government and Afuze area and Iho area and Irua area. We've designed certain strategy that's going to be different from what has been on the ground, that is designed to particularly nip this criminality in the bud. Secondly, Your Excellency, sir, we've equally noticed that cases of murder and cultist or ritual killing has somehow been endemic, but the most prevalent, as we notice from the briefing I received, is kidnapping. We've taken measures to work on these critical areas of insecurity with the belief that in the days ahead, Edo State will be more peaceful than we met, and we're going to institute measures and instrumentalities in place such that even when we're not on seat, others who come after us will find a very viable and veritable platform to fight insecurity to the highest level. I have consulted widely with other security services, namely the military and the other paramilitary agencies, and the determination of all of us to work in synergy to ensure that the mandate of restoring maximum peace to Edo State is not in doubt. We want to once more to thank Your Excellency for all what you have done to make the police to be in a viable state in Edo State, especially with the creation of Edo Security Network, with whom I have interacted widely, with whom we have met and developed a new working platform to have a further improved and secured environment. We want to equally thank you for emplacing Obaseki, which in my interaction and in my coordinating efforts, they have proved to be very, very, very useful, very, very potent in helping us to check rural criminality. And in the days ahead, We look forward for an improved relationship and improved activities with respect to coordinating these outfits for us to make Edo safe and better. We want to thank you immensely for taking time to receive us this morning, and we are grateful for receiving us, and be rest assured, His Excellency, that in the days ahead, you will not be disappointed for having us around. We will do our best to improve on what we have, and we'll do our best to conduct further activities so as to ensure that our security mandate is not jeopardized. Thank you for your time, and may God bless Your Excellency.
Our new Commissioner of Police, CP Amputu Yaro, to Edo State, as he's taken over the responsibility for the police command of Edo. After you were posted, I called the Inspector General to thank him and asked him, why did he send you to Edo? He says, Governor, I'm sending you one of my best hands. This is a very, very agile officer, and given the challenges, security challenges facing the country, I believe you need a man like that. And I said, thank you, my IGP. So you come highly, highly recommended. He says, and I've checked, your background is operations, and they know you in the system. So we are very confident that we have somebody right now who is capable, has come to continue from where the last CP stopped, who incidentally I hear is also your coursemate. There have been a few security challenges in the last couple of weeks before your posting. And I know that since you resumed, you've been checking with the command and you've started putting in place an action program. We were waiting for you. So now that you're here, we expect that we will resume those operations immediately to mop up the people who are making trouble for us in the Ovia areas and the Afusa areas and the Eastern Southeast areas. Fortunately, we have enough intelligence on what is going on, and I'm sure that with the kind of capacity you have, in a few days' time, we will comb those bushes and flush out the people who are making trouble in those areas. The key to our success, or whatever success we've achieved in security in Edo State, is hinged on the synergy and collaboration of the security agencies in the state. And the police is the apex. So as long as we have a commissioner who is open and who is willing, open to working with all the other players in the security ecosystem, we will have, you will find out that we will be able to cope or deal largely with the security challenges we have in the state. So that very good working relationship is what I will urge you to make sure you stand up and deepen, because no one agency on its own can effectively deal with crime and criminality. So collaboration is very, very key, and we as a government encourage that collaboration and sharing relevant information to the agencies that need to have the information. We also will continue to invest in the security system and the security architecture. We wish we had a lot more resources, but relative to what we have, we will continue to support you with as much as we can in terms of logistics, in terms of encouragement for the men, in terms of supporting operations, and also equipment. I want to use this opportunity to thank the IG, who has graciously heeded our call and made available access to some armored personnel carriers, which we're currently working hard to take charge of, and also for deploying the command of a special squad to Edo. The accommodation, the barracks accommodation is ready. We'll go and inspect it in a few days' time, and ready for occupation. And I expect that in the next few weeks, once the men are deployed, there's a special squad that will deal with community issues and issues of land grabbing. You know, we have a committee in place that currently reviewing all the cases that have been reported. I will be seeking your support and support of the zonal command. We also spoke to the AIG, who has assured us that all land cases that come to the area will be referred back to the EDO command, so that people don't begin to play one office against the other. And because the issue of land and land grabbing is something we as a government will deal with very, very squarely. We are making sure we put these resources available, and in any communities where we find people, whether they call themselves Okairis or CDs, the next couple of months we want them to be history, because they are impeding development in the state. We are, like I said, glad that you have resumed. We have almost completed the rebuilding of the police stations that were burnt, and we'll be handing those over to you. We'll be working closely with you in terms of screening and training members of the Vigilante Corps. So that we want you to set up a special office, so that as we are doing our community mapping, we are registering the vigilantes in every community. We must get them clearance from you and the DSS. And then you'll recall that we've already made some investment in the training facility in Ogida to give them, at least their leadership, some form of policing training. That is a project that we will hope that you will, we started before you came in, and hope that you will help us move forward. We are also within Government House improving the security system and the care for the security men deployed to Government House operations. I'll give you details after this meeting. And as we prepare, as we're heading out for another set of elections, we want to work with you in designing a system that will not accept electoral violence here. We want to be very, very hard on the issue of electoral violence. We must have peaceful elections. Both pre-electionary and electionary activities must be peaceful in Edo State. I mean, elections are not wars, so we don't see any reason why people should take up arms and begin to fight each other. The next couple of months are going to be quite challenging security-wise. The security alerts are all out because of the challenges with the economy, high food prices. But as a state, we will work with you and to try and see how we can ameliorate the problems we envisage. But we're very happy that you're here. We are very glad that we have a very experienced and very agile officer, and rest assured you have a government that is your friend.